Shalom. All praises, blessings, glories, and honors to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Recha Kodash. Double honors to my elder apostles and bishop elders of Great Millstone, who have taught me this truth, as well of men of like mind. Shalom wa chasad, which means peace and mercy to the elect of the nation of Israel. I mean, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelite foreigners of the seed line of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who are scattered here in America, which is Babylon the Great, and abroad. And to you I say Shalom, and Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Ratazah. This lesson is edifying and informative. Joel chapter 3 verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruner hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. In the news from the RT, Iran claims hypersonic breakthrough. I gotta make a breakthrough. The new missile, that's from the Funkies, it says the new missile will enhance Tehran's deterrence power against rivals, the country's president has said. Here's a more clearer display of the image. A model of Iran's new Fatah missile is shown off during a ceremony in Tehran, Iran, June 6, 2023. Iran has unveiled a new hypersonic missile, which it claims can travel at speeds of up to Mach 15. President Ibrahim Raisi stated the new weapon would help to ensure lasting security in the region. And this is exactly what the U.S. and Israel were trying to prevent. They were trying to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear warhead. Dubbed the Fatah, meaning conqueror in Farsi, because the Iranian people, which are the Persians, speak the Farsi language. And Fatah in Farsi means conqueror. And the word conqueror, just for edification's sake, means vanquisher, defeater, subjugator, victor, winner, conquering hero, lord, master. So Fatah means conqueror or vanquisher in the Farsi. And who are they going to use that missile to conquer or vanquish? The state of Israel. Because remember, it is written that the least of the flock, which is the state of Israel, shall draw him, which is America, Babylon the Great, out where? Into the Middle East, in the Arabian Peninsula, in the valley of Jehoshaphat, which Jehoshaphat in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat, which means Yahweh's judgment. And that will be the leading cause, or the initiating cause, initiating meaning beginning, cause of the third world's woe, which cometh quickly, according to Revelation chapter 11 verse 14. A war that will be, according to Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5, fought with burning and fuel of fire by reason of those thermonuclear missiles, which, according to the book of Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 25, are the weapons of the Lord's indignation, which means his righteous anger. Once Israel attacks Iran, thus causing Iran to retaliate, America will then be drawn out by reason of the state of Israel to become a guard unto the state of Israel. And then Russia, according to the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, will then become a guard unto Iran. Okay? And that will be the beginning of the Third World War. Because right now we are only just simply hearing of wars and rumors of wars. But the end is not yet. War is a process. So we are seeing buildups across the globe. Okay? It reads on to say, they declared the projectile would be the first in a new generation of weapons for Iranian forces, according to local media reports. Today, we feel that the deterrent power has been formed. This power is an anchor of lasting security and peace for the regional countries, President Raisi said at the ceremony. Brigadier General Amir Ali Haji Zadeh, who heads the elite Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Aerospace Force, also shared details about the weapon, stating it had a maximum range of around 1,400 kilometers, or 870 miles. While officials shared no footage of the Fatah successfully striking a target, Haji Zadeh said the missile's engine had undergone a ground test without issue. And here from Press TV on Twitter, indestructible missile regarding the Fatah. With a range of 1,400 kilometers, or kilometers, as some would say. I myself at times, but I digress. And it says, and the ability to reach speeds of Mach 13 to 15, Iran's first hypersonic missile can penetrate and destroy all anti-missile shields. This makes me think of in Joel the 2nd chapter, when it states, they shall climb the walls like men of war, which is a metaphor for those nuclear missiles avoiding all forms of nuclear shields or deterrences, because they shall not break their ranks, and every man is going to go in his own way, roughly paraphrasing the scripture. See, the Lord is a very poetic and metaphoric power. He writes things in mysteries and dark sayings, allegories and metaphors in ways that will be hard for the average to understand, the non-spiritual to understand. And you can't just understand, you need to be taught. Okay? That's why the Lord has his prophets set up, beginning with the elder apostles, the bishop elders, the elder brothers, on down to us younger men and men of like mind that is scattered here in America, which is Babylon the Great, and abroad. Okay? Of the great millstone. It says, Iran's first hypersonic missile can penetrate and destroy all anti-missile shields. And here is a brief clip. So it appears that the Fatah isn't actually a ICBM nuclear hypersonic missile. Nonetheless, they will eventually develop one, as other countries like Russia. Okay, because they're going to continue to beat their plowshares into swords and their printer hooks into spears, which is a metaphor for how they will continue to take their economic wealth and continue using it towards the research, development, enhancements, and creation of weapons of mass destruction. Just as other countries like North Korea, that was once weak but is now saying and boasting that it is strong because now it possesses nuclear warheads. So eventually, they'll develop multiple nuclear missiles and hypersonic nuclear missiles. Okay, I just wanted to add that comment based on the video that is being showed here in this short clip. That concludes it. There exists no system that can rival or counter this missile, the general claimed. He went on to display a model of the Fatah on stage, appearing to show that the missile has a movable rocket nozzle, possibly allowing it to change course mid-flight to evade enemy air defenses. Again, referred to Joel, the second chapter, Thursday's announcement came not long after Tehran said it would reopen its diplomatic mission in Saudi Arabia following years of hostility with the Gulf Kingdom, and coincided with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's latest trip to Riyadh. And you can look at what a Gulf is. It says, Haji Zadeh initially claimed the Islamic Republic has developed its own hypersonic weapon late last year, though offered no evidence for the assertion at the time and shared few details about the system. To date, only a small handful of nations have successfully fielded hypersonic munitions, given the advanced technology involved, including the US, Russia, and China. Well, as of now, the US still hasn't developed a working hypersonic missile. They've tried, and so far they have failed. But eventually, they'll succeed because the Lord will continue to put it in the hearts of their leaders, especially their military leaders and high officials, to prepare for war. That's why they are increasing the budget for war, for the military. So this concludes the article. In other news, also from DRT, EU running out of money. Handelsblatt. The bloc has no capacity to finance important new initiatives without cutting on essential projects, the outlet reports. High interest rates have added pressure to the EU's long-term budget, already squeezed by multiple crises, including the conflict in Ukraine, migration, and energy supply shortages. Handelsblatt newspaper reported on Monday. In the aftermath of the pandemic, those issues are overwhelming the EU's financial resources, the German outlet wrote. Budget reserves are practically exhausted, the article says. While challenges are growing and Brussels' ability to act is dwindling, the report comes ahead of an EU review of its 2024 budget, as well as the so-called Multi-Annual Financial Framework (MMF) for the years 2021 through 2027. According to the paper, the EU member states' willingness to cover the cost of the single budget is low, particularly in Germany, the most important net contributor to the Union. All of this could undermine the EU's capacity to finance its priorities or react to unforeseen events and put flagship programs at risk, the outlet warns. Reading more, too much blah blah in EU politics, Orban. The report pointed out that the bloc has a lot of mandatory spending, which leaves it with less than 32 billion a year to support Ukraine, accelerate the energy transformation, strengthen the chip industry, boost domestic clean tech production, open up new sources of raw materials, and counter China's Silk Road initiatives. Confined to rigid mandatory spending, the EU cannot rise to become a geopolitical power, Handelsblatt concluded, noting that with the current budgetary structure, the economic bloc is not up to its challenges. So they're running out of money. This includes the article. In other news, the US dollar was used to attack Russia, minister. Eurozone economy slowing down, ECB. So now let's get the scriptures again and then conclude the lesson. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. Again, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. What is the this? Let's find out. The Gentiles are the heathen nations. Prepare war, so that this is to prepare war. For what war? The thorough war, which cometh quickly, according to the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14. Why? Because we are in a season of war, according to Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, the 8th verse. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near where? Near the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is located in the Arabian Peninsula. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords. Swords are instruments of cruelty, as well as spears, and your pruner hooks into spears. Plowshares and pruner hooks are instruments of agriculture. They're farming instruments. Okay. In fact, let's see what this says in the NLT. Among various other versions. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 10. Let's see what the NLT says. Hammer your plowshares into swords, and your pruner hooks into spears. Now we understand in the King James Version it says, let the weak say, I am strong. Let weak nations such as Iran, North Korea, among various others, say that they are now strong because now they possess hypersonic and nuclear technology to level the playing field, so to speak. In the NLT it says, train even your weaklings to be warriors. The CSV states, beat your plows, into swords and your pruning knives into spears. Let even the weakling say, I am a warrior. In the BBE version, it says, get your plow blades hammered into swords, and your vine knives into spears. Let the feeble say, I am strong. The Hebrew word here is katat. Which means to beat, crush by beating, crush to pieces, hammer. Beat down to pieces, break in pieces, crushed, destroyed, discomfort, smite, stamp. To beat, to hammer, to forge. So the word beat here means to forge or to hammer down, as in to forge. The word forge we call the word form. It means a furnace or a shop. It is furnace where metal is heated and wrought. A workshop where wrought iron is produced or where iron is made malleable. To form something such as metal by heating and hammering. So the word beat means to form by heating and hammering, or forge. So beat your plowshares into swords. Forge your instruments of agriculture into instruments of cruelty. Take your economic wealth and use them towards the research, development, enhancements, and creation of weapons of mass destruction, primarily for ICBM nuclear missiles, hypersonic nuclear warheads. Let the weak say, let the feeble say, I am strong. I am a warrior now. Look at me. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Till they cause thy mighty ones, which are the angels, to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen, be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. But there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So war is coming, and it will come after the MOTB has been mandated globally. So with that, this has been another in the news. It has been edifying and informative to the elect. Until the next, Lord's willing, I say shalom.